Good morning. Today's the 23rd day of January, times 9 o'clock. The Ada County Commission is in session to conduct its weekly open business meeting. Commissioner Daly and I are present. Commissioner Davidson is absent right now. I'd like to have you all introduce yourself for the record. Where? Deborah.
Deborah Phillips with Ada County Operations.
Okay.
Brad Smith with the Assessor's Office. Steve Rutherford, Commissioner's Office.
Sean Rain, paramedics.
Joshua Stoloff, the Public Defender's Office.
Sam Murray, Public Defender.
Dave Sunrise, public defender. I want to go on record that I support operations.
Okay. Solid. Good job.
Tammy Hill, Public Defender's Office.
Grace Hested, I'm Al Malone's daughter.
Al Malone with the Public Defender's Office. And Luke Hestand, my grandson. Tony Geddes, Public Defender.
Heather McCarthy, Prosecutor's Office.
Jan Bennett, Ada County Prosecutor.
Cassandra Gray, Public Defender's Office.
Elizabeth Duncan, Communications.
OITA.
Brittany Hacker, Public Defender's Office. Katie Van Boy, Public Defender.
John Travolta's Public Defender's Office.
Neil Price, public defender's office.
Well, we're well defended today. Okay. Madam Clerk, are there any changes to the agenda?
No, they're not.
Great. We have a employee recognition. Could you read the employee recognition?
All right, Mr. Chairman, this is for Alan Malone for 20 years of service to Ada County. Where's Alan?
Right here.
All right. Alan Malone is one of the longest tenured attorneys in the Public Defender's Office. Of 74 attorneys, he's fifth in seniority, only behind the really old guys. His bar number of 4861 is the second lowest in the office, only behind Gene Alexander, who will have some comments regarding Alan later.
He's really old.
Alan grew up in Longview, Washington area, and graduated Willamette Law in 1993. After being in-house counsel at a company for a few years, he decided to seek a higher calling in life and was hired by Alan Trimming to be a public defender. He started at the Juvenile Division on January 12, 2004. Alan has done a little bit of everything in the Public Defender's Office, including felony-level trial work, but his passion lies in juvenile justice. He is a true specialist and has been making a positive impact on the lives of kids here in Ada County for many years. Unfortunately, on a recent stint downtown doing felonies, Alan realized that not all his efforts have been successful, as he represented some adult clients that he represented at kids. While this was a bit discouraging, Alan remains undaunted. He is a true public defender and will represent his clients from cradle to grave. His work ethic, professionalism, and positive attitude make Alan a leader in the office. He will never hesitate to step in and help a colleague or to provide guidance when needed. As the Juvenile Division Supervisor, he is always helping to pass his passion for advocacy for kids on to the next generation of lawyers. On the personal side, Alan is married to his long-suffering wife, Annette, a math teacher, and they have two adult children, Ryan and Grace. Alan and Annette recently welcomed their first grandchild, Luke, into the world, and so now we call Alan Gramps, and he's teaching poor Luke everything to know about the Seahawks and Mariners. Alan Malone is a valued friend and colleague, and is a tremendous asset to the Public Defender's Office and to the county. And despite many broken bones and surgeries, he assures us that he has another 20 years in him. Congratulations, Alan Malone, for 20 years of service.
20 more?
Okay, is there anyone would like to speak for Alan?
Oh, no.
When
did he get in here?
It takes him a little longer, Alan.
Where do I go?
Anywhere you want.
Okay. I'm Gene Alexander. Alan, I've known Alan for 20 years. He worked with me when he first started. I wrote some stuff down so I don't forget. So, Alan's daughter is here. 20 years is a long time. She was a tiny little child when he first started working with us. I could tell some stories about her too, but it's Alan's day today. And I'll tell you, Alan will tell you, he went during this 20 years from being the parent of the Wonder Children, his daughter Grace and his son, now Dr. Malone, to now he's the grandparent of the Uber baby. Over the years with Alan, I found out he was an exceptional student, phenomenal athlete. I know these things because Alan told me. He's a tireless worker for the betterment of others who are less fortunate than him. And he will tell you that's all the rest of us. There's not much that I can say about Alan that he hasn't said himself repeatedly. When Alan first started, and Alan being a man of exceptional faith and moral compass, was a little shocked when he had a shoplifting trial in which the entirety of the evidence at the trial consisted of determining whether or not his client's package would fit in the client's pants. Took him a while to get over that one. On Martin Luther's birthday, Alan had developed his own 95 Theses, not disputations, of course, of the church, but of the court and how things were going. And he hung them, he thought, far enough from just pounding them on the door of the courtroom. The presiding magistrate didn't think it was quite far enough. Magistrate that shall remain nameless, I guess if somebody can check with Judge Manweiler and see if he really wants to remain nameless. But other than that, Alan is a great person, a good human. And choking up a little. We're lucky to have him.
Thank you. Anyone else like to say a few words about his tenured service?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, Tony Geddes, I wrote what Commissioner Davidson read, and it's absolutely true. And what Gene says, Alan's a valued colleague. He gave his shirt off his back if he needed it. He is one of those guys that will go toe-to-toe with any judge, any prosecutor, anybody, anytime for his clients. That's just the kind of man he is, and I'm sure that's the kind of father he is as well. So he's very valued by our office, and it's represented by the people here. There'd be a lot more people here if we didn't have damn court. But yeah, he's the man. So.
Thank you. Okay. Alan, we'll step over here and we'll give you the award and bring up anybody else you'd like to have a picture with you. You bring Luke if you want.
I'm coming.
Here, Luke.
Yeah, and your new Viewmaster. You swipe this from the.
From the seat
Or right over here. Right in the middle, right over here, Alan. Yeah, right over here, yeah. Okay, well, Alan, on behalf of citizens of Boise, we present you this award for your in recognition of your 20 great years with the Ada County. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Can you guys scoot over this way?
Luke smiles if you take a sneeze.
You fake a sneeze.
It's got to be a big one though. Take a big sneeze and you'll laugh.
Achoo! He's like, I got my binoculars.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Tony.
Do you want me to take it with me? Gene, get up there.
Public defenders, come on, let's get a
Come
picture.
Come on, buddy, defenders.
Simon, come on. Take the visor
Do you
off.
want me to take you? Okay.
Now I got hat.
You always have hat hair.
Luke's now part of the public defender.
Go operations.
One, two, three, and one more. Big smile. Thank you.
Congratulations, Alan.
Yeah.
Hey Neil, will you make sure he gets back to your
Old man? This way.
Congratulations.
You're off this way.
See you, Luke. You say bye-bye. Bye. You guys are charming.
Thank you, public defenders. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Always a good day when we can get a baby in here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. Moving on, we have, Development Services, application 2023-02251 VPR, Wyatt Dockstetter, it's a variance. If you can give us a little, we need to move it from the table. Oh, yeah, we need to move, yeah, excuse me.
I move to remove the unfinished business from the table for consideration.
Second.
All right, you've heard the motion, all in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. This was an item you considered at your last T&Z public hearing. This is Mr. Dockstetter was a gentleman who had a 10-acre piece he inherited on the east side of Highway 16 off Chaparral Road, looking to build a home. The area that he's in has a 40-acre minimum, so he approached you to see if he could get approval of a variance to build a house. After considering the evidence and testimony, you voted to approve, and we have prepared revised findings of fact, conclusions of law, order, and conditions that support your approval of his variance.
Okay, any questions from the commission? Okay, now we give this a good thorough, looking at. I'll accept the motion.
I will move to approve the revised findings of fact and conclusions of law for application number 202-302-251-V-PR, Wyatt Dockstetter.
I second the motion.
Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye?
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you, Richard. Okay, next we have a, award of bid 24024.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Before you this morning is the award of bid 24024, the Courthouse Second, Fourth, Fifth Floor Judges Chambers Carpet Replacement Project 2024. And the evaluation team has reviewed the bids received and would like to submit this recommendation for award letter for your consideration.
You can read the letter.
I'd be happy to. It's a letter dated January 23rd, 2024 to the Board of Ada County Commissioners from Ada County Procurement regarding bid 24024. Dear members of the board, Ada County Procurement received 3 responses for bid 24024. The following are the names of the bidders and the bid amount submitted. The first bidder is Ace Quality Finish LLC, and they had a bid amount of $223,000. Bidder number 2 was Great Floors, and they had a bid amount of $99,990. And bidder number 3 is Wall to Wall Commercial Flooring with a bid amount of $96,819. After reviewing the bid submitted, it is the recommendation of the evaluation group to award the contract to Wall to Wall Commercial Flooring as the lowest responsive bidder for the total bid amount of $96,819.
Okay, thank you. When's the last time the carpet has been replaced in the judge's chambers?
I don't think it ever has.
This is original with the building.
It's original with the building. Is that
That's correct.
Yeah.
And when was the building built?
2000?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ish?
We moved in 2002, Mr. Chairman.
Moved in 2002, all right. All right, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll accept the motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move to accept the recommendation of the evaluation committee and award bid 24024 Courthouse Second, Fourth, Fifth Floor Judges Chambers Carpet Replacement 2024 to Wall Floors,
Wall to Wall Commercial Flooring.
commercial flooring in the amount of $96,819.
Thank you. Is there a second to the motion?
Well, I think I want to make a substitute motion to table this. you know, I did bring this up at the last meeting, but, you know, as far as us needing some additional money for jail funding, I think maybe we should, table some of these non-essential projects until we have more of a plan. Some of this money could be diverted to the jail fund. I just feel like carpet, in the grand scheme of things, it tends to fall under the non-essential projects. Not saying we're gonna do it, but I think maybe we should hold off on this and similar projects, give it a little closer examination and see if that could be delayed a little bit to put the money elsewhere.
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
Just a question. When we were discussing this, as I recall, one of the factors is that the carpet, one is obviously 20-some years old, but some of it, the cement, the contact. The glue, there you, can't even think of it. The glue actually has asbestos in it, and there's some other environmental issues that are at stake here.
Wasn't that a different carpet?
Yeah,
Was
yeah,
that some-
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, that's actually the project over at the public safety building.
Public safety
Right,
building.
That's
right.
asbestos, yeah. This is just kind of old and worn, and you have some issues where you have some bubbling, where you have a separation between the glue and the substrate, basically, so that's why we're.
So this one doesn't have that problem?
Doesn't have the asbestos problem, no, but does have some other issues, which is why we have a list for replacement.
So what's the normal timeframe that we have? Because we have a replacement for lots of things, roofs, carpet, stuff. What's the normal in terms of carpet?
Yeah, I think operations has a prioritization plan that they put together every year for different types of replacement, whether it's HVAC or carpet, and Bob can probably speak to that a little more.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, a lot of the newer carpet squares has a 15-year serviceable life to it, and the broadloom that we have up there just depends on wear and tear and age of the carpet and so forth. So it's well past that 15-year that typical commercial carpet has from the life expectancy.
And do we have the process of even in the worn areas, replacing worn areas? And
You can do that with carpet squares. You can't with the broadloom. The broadloom is a large rolls, usually 12,
And that's
15
what
foot
this
wide.
is.
That's what, yeah, it's old original broadloom carpet.
and now we're using the squares, right? So we can do that.
So we can do smaller areas. If it gets stained, you can pop the tile and replace it. You replace high traffic areas and so on and so forth. Priority's been all of the public spaces first. So we've done the public spaces first, now we're moving into the offices. I think it's one of the last sections in the courthouse to be done. Is that correct, Deb? I think it's the last section, right?
Yeah, it is.
Last area in the courthouse to be done.
So this is normal process, and 20 years is an extended life for carpet.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
I would say, well, for me, I would say I would prefer to look at it and see what the issues are before voting on it, and follow up with a meeting with operations to go over, you know, scheduled maintenance over the next couple of years as we're going into the budget, looking for additional money for the jail. I think this one is one that could be tabled until we took a look, but I do think it's time for an overall look at our maintenance project, the schedules, what's coming up, what could be deferred. And I think this is one that maybe we should at least start with to get the conversation going.
Another question. This was included in the budget, correct? That we.
Yeah, I believe it's part of the overall maintenance budget for operations.
Correct, Mr. Chairman. So we do a breakout for all of the projects, once our budget's approved. It's part of our deferred maintenance line in our budget, and we go in and do a capital breakout for all the items that we're gonna, we have prioritized based off the list that we have.
So this was included in the budget that we passed.
Yeah.
For this fiscal year.
For this fiscal year, yes.
For FY '24. Right.
Yes.
All right. Any other discussion or questions?
Well, realizing it is in the budget, I think extraordinary times call for extraordinary measures, and now we need to re-examine the budget in light of the bond results, just to look for any additional savings we can. Again, not saying we're not going to replace the carpet, but maybe a more serious look on if it could be held off for a year or two.
I don't dispute the fact that we should be looking at budgets every year like we do, to try to figure out ways that we can in fact save money or spend our money more judiciously. But I think this has been in the budget. It was considered in that regard, and it's not going outside the budget. We may very well actually have some left over at the at the end of the year in our fund balance as well, that we can talk about in relation to what our Commissioner Davidson was talking about. So I still stay with my original motion.
All right. Well, is there a second to your motion? I don't hear a second. Okay, I'll second your motion. And read the motion again.
I move to accept the recommendation of the Evaluation Committee and award bid 24024 courthouse, second, fourth, fifth floor judges chambers carpet replacement 2024 to wall-to-wall commercial flooring in the amount of $96,819.
Okay, and I seconded the motion. And I will state that I have no problem at all in analyzing all these, but we do that during the budget cycle. And we can revisit it right now, by the way, so I would invite anyone to visit with our operations to determine, is there a chance for savings somewhere? Because we always need to look for savings. But anyway, having said that, all in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye?
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, next up, we have a public hearing. I'll open the public hearing on resolution number 2952, a resolution authorizing the review of the out-of-county waste from Mountain Home Air Force Base. Do we have any discussion on that? We have our new director. Would you like to, and our old director, very old. Would you like to?
I better leave. I might
Would you like to speak to the resolution? Now, I understand we have been taking the waste a little bit, and we implemented a policy to have a higher fee for out-of-county waste to offset the cost that may be incurred because of lowering the lifespan of our
Yes,
landfill.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, these resolutions were the result of the closure of IRWS, which was a privately owned landfill that was taking all of Elmore County to include the Air Force Base, and we have made arrangements to take Ada County waste upon your approval per municipality asking for permissions to bring their waste to our facility. So it's still upon your approval, but we are, the resolution does allow us to take out of county waste now upon your approval.
Yeah.
And this is one of them.
And that's from the Air Force Base.
Correct.
All right. Any questions?
And that is at an additional fee, correct?
Correct. Out of county fee, which is just about double our current municipal solid waste fee for Ada County residents.
And that is, the calculation for that is because they're taking up space, that it's gonna cost
The extra
additional
pressures
cost.
and the early closure of us taking that extra waste.
And so
the pressures.
we're accommodating the citizens of Ada County by that, in that method.
Correct.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, here none. I'll close the public hearing on resolution 2952. And I'd call for a motion.
I'll move to approve resolution number 2952 as listed on the agenda.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, we have another procurement.
More procurement.
Go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, before you under new business is the review of bids received and award recommendation for goods and services 50,000 to 100,000. And this is in regards to bid 24030, the Ada County Sheriff's Office night vision devices and accessories. And we received 8 responses for this bid. And we would like to submit this letter of the proposals received and a recommendation for your award.
Okay, you could read the letter?
I'd be happy to. It's a letter dated January 23rd, 2024, to the Board of Ada County Commissioners from Ada County Procurement regarding bid 24030. Dear members of the Board, Ada County Procurement received 8 responses for bid 24030. The following are the names of the bidders and the bid amounts submitted. So the first bidder is Arms Unlimited Incorporated, and they have a bid amount of $57,475. Bidder number 2, Botac Incorporated, with a bid amount of $57,525. Bidder number 3, Mile High Shooting Accessories with a bid amount of $57,790. Proforce Marketing Incorporated is bidder number 4, and they have a bid amount of $59,253.15. Bidder number 5 is Steel Industries Incorporated with a bid amount of $53,914.68. Bidder number 6, Taza Supplies Incorporated with a bid amount of $61,460. And bidder number 7 is Wisecom Technologies with a bid amount of $68,996.14. And rounding out the bidders at bidder number 8 is TNVC Incorporated with a bid amount of $52,528.75. After reviewing the bid submitted, it is the recommendation of the evaluation group to award the purchase order to TNVC Incorporated as the lowest responsive bidder for the total bid amount of $52,528.75.
Okay, thank you. Is there any questions?
Yeah, Mr. Chair. Couldn't these be purchased with the grant money through the Ada County Emergency Management Council that gets the federal grants?
That's what it is.
I believe it is.
That's what
Is
this
this,
is.
is this from the federal grant?
This is through, I believe, Bureau
This
of
emergency
Homeland
management,
Security.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was, the executive committee of the emergency management took this up, approved it, so it's actually the county that does it.
Actually formally does the purchase.
Yeah, formally does
We do,
purchase,
yes.
yes.
I would have thought that the grant was specifically for the vendor, but I guess not. It's,
No, it's, the grant money's there for the purchase of it, and then we go through the competitive process. Yeah.
okay.
Through the procurement process. All right. Okay, any other questions?
No, not your question, but just a comment that I've had some experience with night vision purchases. This is a very good contract, a very good price for this quality of what we're purchasing, so.
It's less than what they thought it'd be.
Yeah, I think our budget was right around the 60,000, and
Yeah.
considerably under it, so.
It's a good manufacturer as well as a good price, so.
Okay, good on all accounts.
All right, I'll accept a motion.
So I move to accept the recommendation of the evaluation committee and award bid 24030 Ada County Sheriff's Office Night Vision Devices and Accessories to TNVC Incorporated
That's correct.
in the amount of $52,528.75.
75 cents.
Don't,
Gotta get that in there.
gotta have sense.
All right, is there a second to the motion?
second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. Thank you.
Thanks, Commissioners.
Yes. Okay, we now have licenses. We have a couple of catering permits and a couple of new licenses. Is there a motion?
I move to approve the licenses as listed on the agenda, including 1 catering permit and 3 new licenses, and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
I second the motion.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, we have with us today our distinguished clerk, Mr. Trent Triple. He's got a big report for us.
Not a necessarily big report. It's nice in this particular season in the clerk's office, and that we're able to regroup a little bit post-November election prior to the upcoming election season, which will be exciting. We're also still waiting on the results of the Eide Bailey audit. It's unusually late. That's not a harbinger of bad things. I think they are just swamped, and they are undermanned right now with accountants in their firm. So it's taken a little bit longer for them to get to the end result of our audit, but we're expecting that any time now. And obviously, we're regrouping our financial auditors as well prior to the budget kickoff next month. So it's a calm season for us right now, which is good, and we'll take it.
So it isn't the result of any complications of
No.
things that.
Not that we're anticipating. I mean, they can always come back and
Right.
show us some findings, and we honestly were anticipating that we might have missed something given the new financial system rollout and the distractions of
And that's
that.
gonna be my next question, financial impact.
But I'm hopeful that it'll be a great audit, and they're just taking some time to get it done.
Which is good, do a good job, take time to do it.
That's all I have.
All right. Thank you. Okay, we have Claims Journal for January 19th, 2024. I'll accept the motion.
I move to authorize payment of the claims on the Claims Journal dated January 19th, 2024.
Second.
Okay, you heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. Next up, we have some personnel actions. Any questions or discussions on any of the personnel actions? If not, I'll accept a motion.
I'll move to approve the personnel actions as listed on the agenda and that the summary sheet remain on file in the Commissioner's office.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. And now we have the Chief Deputy Assessor.
Morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners.
How you doing this morning?
Pretty good.
Great.
Yeah, we wrapped up Board of Tax Appeals last Thursday with our final hearing. And so we're just gonna be waiting for decisions on those. We only have 3 decisions back at this point, but I'll keep you posted of any decisions we get.
So how many pending decisions do we have?
I believe altogether we had 114 Board of Tax Appeals. A lot of those are resolved or withdrawn prior to. So I believe we only had about 30, 35 actual hearings that we went to. So those will start trickling in. They have till May 1st to have their decisions in, but at this point, only 3 have come in.
Okay.
So, and then we're just keeping a close eye on the legislature, things.
Good luck.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, you never know when they might try to throw something in on a emergency bill that's, takes effect January 1st. So we're definitely keeping a watchful eye over there. Nothing crazy yet. And other than that, our appraisers are working on land valuation, and the other 80%, physical reappraisal takes care of 20% of our properties. Then the other 80% of the properties we're responsible for. They're looking at trends and stuff and doing kind of statistical analysis. So that's keeping them busy. So.
Okay.
And we got 7 tax cancellations, which are mostly homestead exemption, and then we have City of Boise on there for tax exemption or exempt property. So, but nothing too exciting today.
Okay, well, great.
I know you have to do this every time, but could you explain what that, what you just said, what these are in terms of the
Homeowners exemption.
homeowner exemption?
Yeah, so the homeowners exemption or homestead exemptions, basically after the primary roll has closed, since House Bill 562 changed the way we calculate those, these are based on a prorated adjustment. So they are entitled to, in this case, are going to be entitled to the last quarter of the year for a homestead exemption. So, and these are tax adjustments, so it's not eliminating the entire tax off, just a portion of it.
Portion of it based on when they applied for the homeowner exemption,
That is correct.
which is allowed. And now, what's the status of the court case on that?
So that's still in the Supreme Court, and I imagine it will be there. I mean, everything's lined up with the tax commission and the 2 counties, but I imagine that will probably be quite a while before we ever get any kind of resolution. I'd like to think that the legislature would take action and
Before.
do a cleanup bill on that, which would kind of make things clear.
More clear.
But that, I haven't heard of any word on that this year.
Okay. And it should be noted that we call these tax cancellations, but they're merely adjustments. They're not canceling a portion of the tax.
That is correct.
Because that's what the statute's called for. All right. Thank you. I'll accept the motion.
I move to approve the tax cancellations as listed on the agenda, which includes 1 tax cancellation for 2022, 6 tax cancellations for 2023, and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We now have with us our distinguished treasurer, Ms. Bedmont. You got a good report for us, don't you?
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Chairman,
Good morning.
Commissioners. I'll start with the tax cancellations / adjustments. And I say that because a tax cancellation, that translates in our world also to a credit adjustment. Because as you're aware with House Bill 292, all parcels were eligible for the additional tax credit. So for all these parcels that we're adjusting the taxes, we must also adjust the credits. So it is very laborious for our staff. We are chipping away at these as we can, but right now there are over 400 tax cancellations that we're still processing as a result of these credits. So we're working on those just as soon as we can. Also wanted to give you an update on the status of the 2023 property tax collections. As you know, the first half was due December 20th, and presently we've collected about 97% of the amount that was due by December 20th. Some taxpayers pay the full amount, and so even though it's not due until June 20th, they've already paid it, and for that, we've collected about 36%. And as you're aware, these taxes are on behalf of all districts that levy within our boundaries, and we will be paying those districts later this month. So that's it.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Any questions of our treasurer?
Is there a requirement of a time requirement for us to remit those to the taxing districts? Is there a time frame we are required under the law to do it?
Yes. It's monthly, and I can't recall, it's like the first Monday, there's a defined time period, but it's the first Monday or the fourth Monday depending on the month. So it's earlier in the month for all months except for July and January. It's later in those months, but yes, it is.
Because of the tax
Right.
payment or receipts we get.
Right. So it is monthly and just varies depending on which month it is.
All right, well, thank you.
So thank you.
Thank you, yes. Okay, we have hired a new director at our landfill, and we'd like to introduce him. Stand up, and this is Herb Cantu.
Nice to meet you all, appreciate it.
He's been here a little while, but he's the new director of the landfill, and we have high expectations of him, and he has gigantic boots to fill.
Mr. Chair, thank you, commissioners, thank you for the opportunity. Steve, thank you as well for the opportunity. I'm greatly excited to be part of this team. I enjoy the trash business, so this is what I do every day. I study at night, and I've been very thankful for the opportunity to have the pass down with Bruce. He's been a godsend, and I'm gonna miss you. I know it's been a short run, but
We still have one more week to go.
his intel,
You might change your mind.
I know, man. That data has been awesome, it really has been, so I'm very thankful for your support and looking forward to working with the team. He's built a really good team out there, and I think there's a lot of good things moving ahead. Looking forward to refining that cost of service study and helping us continue to move the peanut forward out there. So thank you very much, and looking forward to working with you all.
Well, thank you. Welcome to the Ada County family.
Yes.
Well, appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
And I apologize for bringing the snow with me when I came down last week.
All right. Okay, well, moving on, we have some events at the interim events at Expo Idaho. Taking a look at them. Is there any questions or issues with any of the events? I'll accept a motion.
I move to approve the 8 interim event agreements as listed on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
I second the motion.
Okay. Are you participating in that Strongman Championship?
I've decided to let, I'm gonna retire.
Okay.
Don't wanna show up the young ones here, so we'll just sit on the bench.
All right, but Bruce is still involved in it, right?
No, I'm in the grappling.
Oh, the grappling, oh, okay. All right, well, good
Let him
enough.
switch leagues.
All right, well, good enough. Well, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. Now, we have a couple of events at Barb Park and Education and Event Center. Any questions or discussions about these? A wedding and denim and laces, whatever that is. All right, I'll accept the motion.
I move to approve the 2 Barber Park Education and Event Center agreements as listed on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. Next up, we have 4 agreements. Any question or discussions on any of the agreements? Hearing none, I'll accept the motion.
I'll move to approve the 4 agreements as listed on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the appropriate documents on behalf of the board.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, next up, we have the weekly indigent items. I'll accept a motion.
I move to accept the recommendations of the indigent staff, services staff as listed on the summary of cases dated January 23rd, 2024, and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second. Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, next up, we have Ada County Victim Center. We're changing the name of that, by the way. It was previously called the Faces of Hope Victim Center. And one of the 16 partners, the Faces of Hope Foundation, recently decided to pursue other opportunities. The departure of this one group has not in any way paused or affected any of the services provided at the facility. The partners have come together to fill the short-term gaps and are excited to invite other community partners into the building to provide additional services. I say that because it's been sort of misreported a little bit what actually has occurred there, so I want to clear that up. Is there any other discussion amongst the board or?
Mr. Chairman, I would just like to reiterate what you just said. One of the things that I wasn't aware of until I became a commissioner was the extent of what this community has done in terms of serving victims of domestic violence and other things. And having experienced as a volunteer in other locations, what we have here is an example of what needs to be done in communities. And I've talked to new move-ins into the community who, when I've explained this to them, they've said this is a model that needs to be replicated other places because they didn't have it in other communities where they lived, and I would second that as well. So this is something that we should be proud of as a county that we've done this, and it's been in existence since 2006, as you said, and it's going to continue on servicing, finding new and better ways to serve the victims in our community, and just that. This is a move forward to do that.
I think it's absolutely to move forward. Prosecutor, would you like to say something? Because this is we're changing the name to the Ada County Victim Services Center, and that will be on the building and the names of it and so forth. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Commissioners, I first of all want to thank all the partners for continuing the uninterrupted service for victims. Like, as the chair said, they've all come together, working hard to continue the service for victims of our most serious crimes and the most vulnerable victims that we handle in our community, as you said, Commissioner Daly, with regard to sexual assault, domestic violence, child abuse, sexual and physical abuse of kids. And so I really do want to thank all of them, from law enforcement to the hospitals, St. Luke's, St. Al's, all the partners who are co-located at FACES, which is now going to be known as the Ada County Victim Services Center. And I just appreciate the fact that they have partnered with us and continued serving victims. I also want to thank the WCA, which will be joining us next week, co-located, providing their services, and look forward to welcoming other partners who can help us improve service for victims at the center. And lastly, I want to thank the commissioners for your hard work and support of the Ada County Victim Services Center. I think it's an incredible building, as you said, with all the services that we provide, but it wouldn't be possible without your support, and you have done that unconditionally from day one since 2006, and in particular, as you have navigated the next steps for the Ada County Victim Center. So thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you. I think it'd be note that we have some of the partners listed here, and I think I'll read the St. Luke's Children at Risk Evaluation Services. That's CARES, Community Sexual Assault Team, St. Luke's Nurses, and St. Alphonsus Nurses. Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, Boise Police Department, Meridian Police Department, Ada County, that's us, Commissioners, Adult Protective Services, Women's and Children's Alliance. Now, this is a new one. They were not in the building until they've just agreed to contract to be in the building. St. Luke's Medical Clinic, Idaho Network of Child Advocacy Centers, Ada County Sheriff's Office, Garden City Police Department, Ada County Prosecutor's Office, and Ada County Paramedics. Charitable assistance to the community for homeless cats, Idaho Assistance League. We're excited to begin anew because there hasn't been accurate reporting on this because some people made it sound like they were closing down. We're actually expanding. It's going to be a great, because it provides a great service to the community, and we're proud of that, and we want to continue with that service and even enhance that services. Thank you. Any other comments? You have anything you want to say? All right. Well, good enough. Did we get a motion?
Do we need a motion?
Yeah, I think we need a motion.
Well, Mr. Chair, I will move to formally adopt and rename the center, formerly known as the Faces of Hope Center, to the Ada County Victim Services Center.
And I second the motion and reiterate what I said. This is a fantastic facility, an asset to the community, and this just reiterates this name.
Absolutely. And again, we want to thank all of our partners that participate, because this is a partnership. It's not just Ada County, it's not just the prosecutor's office. This is a partnership of all the community that comes together to provide victims of some sort of trauma in their life. And because we want to provide aid and comfort to them and provide justice. So if there's, without any further discussion, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Thank you. Okay, do we have anything else that needs to be brought for us? If not, we're adjourned. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Well, hey, good morning. Today is the 23rd day of January. Wow. And the Board of Commissioners, sitting as the Board of Medical Services District, is in session to conduct its weekly open business meeting. The time is 9:45. All three commissioners are present, and we have with us today, we're here.
Steve Rutherford, Commissioner's Office.
Bethany Cali, HR. Heather McCarthy, Prosecutor's Office.
Elizabeth Duncan, Communications.
IT guy.
Sean Rain, Paramedics.
Okay, thank you. Madam Clerk, are there any changes to the agenda?
No, there are not.
Okay, Well, great. Hearing no changes to the agenda, we'll get right into it then. All right. First up, we have the claims journal.
I move to authorize payment of the claims as listed on the Claims Journal dated January 19th, 2024 regarding EMS expenditures.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Next up, we have personnel actions.
I'll move to approve the personnel actions as listed on the agenda and that the summary sheet remain on file in the Commissioner's office.
I second the motion.
Okay, and then we have the approval of the minute. Oh, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Okay, motion carries. Now we have the approval of the minutes for the district on the 16th of January. I'll accept the motion.
I move to approve the minutes as identified on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, now we have the best part of the meeting. AMS update from our esteemed director.
I
Yes,
had a
Mr.
special
Chair.
meeting yesterday.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, famous all across the state.
Right. Well, good morning. I just have two things for you today. First, we are in the process of revising our mission, vision, values, and we've rewritten those, and now they're going out to some focus groups of some of our employees. Sean Miller with HR is helping out with that process, so looking forward to getting that going. Second, I was going to talk about the meeting yesterday. I don't know if you guys had a chance to watch it. Channel 7 did interview me. Felt like things went really well. Had some good conversations afterwards with different legislators. It sounds like Representative Souter and Senator Bierke are going to carry a bill moving forward to do three things. Designate EMS as an essential service in the state of Idaho. Two, it gives the county commissioners the authority and the responsibility for ensuring that EMS is provided within the borders of the state. And then three, some funding. And the first year funding is really for system development. So a lot of these counties that don't really have anything, it would be, I don't know, I guess you could call it almost seed money for them to start the process of building. Because you couldn't just jump out and give them Clark County $1 million, they wouldn't know what to do with it. So, starting out with some seed money to maybe get an administrator hired, that kind of thing. So, felt like it went really well. I had several conversations, like I said. There's still kind of that looming issue of where the Bureau lives with certain legislators, and that persists, but we'll see where it goes from there.
All right. Any questions from the board?
Does this bill, in visiting with these two legislators, contemplate just counties or regionalizing, or a regionalized concept as well? That was talked about at one point.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, Commissioner Daly, that's a good question. So it starts out with counties, and the reason that we did that in the task force is if you tried to do it by district or even starting with regionalization, we were worried that we wouldn't capture the entire borders of the state. But by doing it at the county level, it does do that. One thing I mentioned, and if you watch the hearing, Commissioner Dance from Fremont County also mentioned, don't give us an unfunded mandate. So if you're going to do this, do it the right way, realizing that it's probably a 2 or 3 year process. But I even had one legislator in particular that it surprised me a little bit that he came up and said, I think one of the fixes is with property tax. And I was a little bit shocked by that. But I think looking at maybe even within the boundaries of what we can capture, but even, I threw a couple ideas out. I don't know if they would stick down there or not, but if you're going to put it on the county commissioners, give them the opportunity to, at one time, to adjust the levy to where it needs to be. And even if they don't want to just give you the authority, make it a simple majority vote. Those kinds of ideas. And didn't say no or that I was crazy. So that was good, I guess. But it'll just be interesting. We've talked about different ideas for funding. You think about Clark County, there's less than 1,000 people live there. So they could max out their mill levy and it wouldn't do anything for them. But they also have I-15 running through there. So ideas on how do you capture that cost of responding to these people that don't even live in the area. through recreation fees, gate fees on rivers, parks, that kind of thing that we're responding there. I even had an idea as we were talking through that about as many rescues as we go on the Boise River. Maybe the people that are entering the river have to pay a small fee that help us when we have to go out there and respond. So we're throwing ideas at the wall and leaving them up there and seeing what will stick. So what we've created is kind of a menu. And I think I mentioned yesterday that EMS funding is a hodgepodge, and it'll be a hodgepodge. I don't see any way around that, but it's finding the right mixture of hodgepodge, I guess.
Yeah, I saw that, some of the other on the panel there, you had
Right.
a lot of differences. I did watch the news report.
Okay, good.
And I was kind of surprised at some of the responses, we rely on bake sales and stuff.
Yeah, keep their spaghetti feeds, baked sales, chili
Yeah,
feeds.
it was interesting to see like you said, the diversity of
Yeah,
ideas.
a lot of diversity. And Clark County, while they don't have very many residents, they get a lot of PILT money.
Yeah, they do. They have a lot
Because
of federal.
they're probably one of the higher percentages of federal land in the county.
I know Commissioner Dan said, I think Fremont County was 88% owned by either Bureau of Reclamation, Forest Service,
Yeah,
BLM, yeah.
Yeah, they get a lot of PILT money too.
And that's one idea, and Commissioner Daley brought this up about a year ago, that trying to get the federal government to set aside PILT for EMS on those federal lands, because that's where people are recreating. Custer County, I'll bet the population, I don't know, it goes up probably 10 times what it is in the winter and the summer. And, people still have to respond to emergencies up there, so.
Right.
Yes, when I was visiting with the Clark County Commissioners a year ago, the number of about 95% of their EMS is on federal land.
Yeah.
Of their calls.
Yeah.
Because there's such limited private land.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else for us?
That is it, sir.
All right, well, thanks.
All right, thank you.
Hearing nothing else, we'll be adjourned.
All right.
Thank you.